If you want more books that have a shadow daddy or even a shadow mommy in it, this is the video for you.
We are monsters. We give and we take.
Hey Bookish Babes, and welcome to my book nook. My name's Rainy. I read all types of books, primarily fantasy romance, so if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. And this is going to be the start of episodes of recommendation list, where I recommend 10 books of a certain trope, probably pertaining to romantasy since that is my favorite genre. And then I will also have 3 books at the end that are on my potential TBR that I would like to read, so that the next time I do a recommendation list of the same trope, I can hopefully include those and have more recs for you. And so with that being said, I'm going to start with one that I absolutely eat up every single time that I read it. And I know that some people might say that it's overdone, but I don't really care because I love it. And that is a good Shadow Daddy moment, okay? I even looked up what the definition of a Shadow Daddy was in case you're unaware. But it said, at least according to Google University, that it's typically a male character, often morally gray and powerful, who possesses or wields shadow-related powers or magic. Okay, a shadow shifter, controls one, is one with the shadows, if you will. So, like I said, I'm going to be sharing 10 recommendations with you. Some of them are like very popular, like the ones that you think of always, but then some of them are ones that are not as popular that I want people to know, but I just figure let's just start with like a good mix and match of like popular ones, non-popular, and they are not in any semblance of order at all. Okay, trying again because my family is being insanely loud. I am looking at the summary because otherwise I will go on a tangent forever. This is about our girl Kat, and she's on the verge of losing everything when she's offered a super well-paid job where she basically is going to have to spy on the powerful Fae Lord known as the Night's Queen's Shadow, Bastion. And so it's like a Regency, Romantasy-esque book. I wasn't sure if that was for me or not because I'm not really into like Regency and historical stuff. But this one was just done so well. And the banter between Bastion and her, like there's a whole scene where he like uses his shadows to like create like basically a room in the garden, like in the garden outside the castle for just them, where it's just them encircled in his shadows. I'm just saying, this is very much book boyfriend material, and I loved it so much, and I need to continue on with the series. I'm sad that I haven't, but like, this is a great Shadow Daddy romance. Up next is my second favorite book of last year, and that is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is one of the popular ones. Daddy Kingfisher, okay? So, this one is about our girl, Soris, and she lives basically, think of like Hunger Games in like a very poor district where they're not taken care of, they're not fed well, they have terrible water, quality water. And one day, she steals something of quality from one of the other districts, and she's getting chased by a bunch of guards, and somehow she falls into a magical portal and lands in like a Fae realm and stumbles upon Kingfisher, who has to help her. He has something that he's trying to do, she has something that she's trying to do, and so they decide to join forces and help one another. And he's very grumpy sunshine, very broody. He's kind of bullying in the beginning, and some people can't get past that to appreciate Kingfisher in the way that he should, but like once they're like, you know, bantering and simmering, it's very hot, very steamy. His shadows are of this next world. I love this book. I really do. I love everything about this book. I think it is a great romantasy and fantasy blend. It just does something for the soul, okay? It just does something for the soul. All right, up next is like probably the one that everybody thinks of. Well, the second one that everybody thinks of, and that is Fourth Wing by Miss Rebecca Yarros. This is my original copy, like OG days, you know. I bought this right before it got popular. If you don't know what Fourth Wing is about by now, I don't really know what to say to you. It's a college, a war college for dragon riders, and you have Violet Thorngale in it and Mr. Xaden Ryerson, okay? He is our Shadow Daddy master in this. He uses his shadows in very special ways, but I feel like I don't even have to really say much because you know about Fourth Wing even if you don't want to know about Fourth Wing, and you've definitely heard of Mr. Xaden Ryerson before, okay? But I mean, he gets to me. He really does. Have I read this book 3 times and absolutely loved it? Yes. Did it have to be on this list? Also, yes. This is a classic Shadow Daddy book that I will always scream about to the rooftops. Up next is one that I think is no, this is not an underhyped book. I just don't think he gets put on as many lists, but he is a fabulous specimen. And that is Luther Corbois from Spark of the Everflame, okay? Mr. Luther. Mr. Luther is a special kind of man. We stan a Luther, okay? Everybody needs a Luther in their lives. So this one is about a mortal world that is like ruled by the gods or ruled by the descended, who are like powerful beings. And poor Diem wants to get out of her poor village. She wants something more for herself, okay? But then her mom disappears, and her mom was a healer for the descended at like the royal castle of the descended. And so she decides to take over her mom's position to like get back at the descended because she's trying to like take them down. She's part of like a resistance. Meanwhile, the king's heir, Luther, is like watching her every move. He's, you know, trying to handle his kingdom. She's trying to take him down in secret. It is their epic love story. And Luther, the mouth on this man, without words. You probably hear baby girl outside, so we'll see if I actually get to film this. But the next one is Flaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Schurer. Mr. Talamir here is a shadow wraith. So he has shadow in his title, okay? He's a shadow wraith. This one goes along with the Blood and Steel series by Helen Schurer, but you don't have to have read that to read this. She kind of calls it like a prequel, but like I said, it is actually technically a standalone. And so this one, I don't even know how to explain this. Okay, so we have Drew, our main girl, and she is a ranger, and she wants one thing: vengeance, because her family was murdered by a bunch of shadow wraiths a while back. And so she's determined to defend her kingdom and get vengeance on the ones that killed her family. So she kills every shadow wraith that she can in sight. Meanwhile, you have our bad boy Talamir, who has a dangerous secret. He's a half wraith. So he's not a full shadow wraith, he's half, okay? He doesn't want people to know that he's a shadow wraith because people don't like shadow wraiths and they try to kill him, right? When someone close to Drew disappears, she blames all the shadow wraiths and she blames him. And he decides to prove her that he's not a monster and he has his own secrets he's trying to uncover, and so they have to band together. This was one of my favorite romantasies that I've read because the banter was good, the love was there, the romance was sweet. It was really more of like reluctant allies to lovers, but I still ate it up. And I mean, he still has shadow wraiths, so like he still has some bad boy shadow daddy moments that need to be appreciated by all. So we're shifting gears and going to a good old shadow mommy moment, okay? And that is Miss Oren from Guild. Now, I read Guild a couple months back. It wasn't my favorite. I gave it a 4-star, which is still not bad, but I know that there is potential to grow in this series. I will say, trigger warnings up the wazoo for SA. So if that's something that you cannot handle, then I don't recommend this book. It is very graphic and it's very on page, okay? But if you can handle it, this is the story of King Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold. He has his one plated prisoner, his princess, the only concubine girl that he doesn't ever touch, and she's made out of gold. And that is Oren, but she can also wield shadows, which is actually really unique, the way that her magic comes into play within this story. And of course, she wants to escape, but a lot of stuff happens along the way, okay? This was fun, like, head empty, like plot wasn't really plotting a lot, if you get it, but I really liked it. And I mean, having be a shadow mommy instead of a man for once was very refreshing. The next one I don't actually own, but I really was enjoying this series and I was binging it, and then I didn't finish the 4th book because it wasn't out yet, and that's Court of Ravens and Ruin by Eliza Rain. Now these are very much popcorn reads. They're like 250-page romantasies. They're not the best written by any stretch of the imagination, but they're a fun time. And our main character, Max, can manipulate and control shadows, okay? And I really liked these books. But like I said, they have also, like, no spice until book 3. And when I say no spice, like, I really mean, like, no spice. Like, these books are the slowest of slow burns, and it's kind of frustrating. I don't even know if the payoff is all worth it, to be honest. But I really like the characters. I like that there's trials in these games. I really liked all the elements of this book. I just wish it had been fleshed out a little more, but I still really enjoyed it, which is why I like recommending it, especially if you need a shorter page romantasy, then these are perfect to pick up. And Max has magical shadow daddy powers. Then we have one that everyone and their mother knows about, and that's Daddy Dorian from Throne of Glass, okay? Yes, this is the Acrylipics special edition. It's nothing special on the inside. It's just the dust jacket and whatnot, but, like, that's still beautiful. Anyway, Daddy Dorian has magical shadow powers. I can't say much more than that, or it'll spoil things, but he's my favorite character in the Throne of Glass series. He can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. We protect and stand Dorian at all costs. And if you haven't read this yet, I guess you should. Then we have the other one that's like probably the OG one that everybody thinks of, and that is Rhysand from A Court of Mist and Fury, or the ACOTAR series, okay? Mr. Rhysand is the reason that Shadow Daddies are a popular occurring thing, okay? Now, this is not my favorite of Miss SJM's books. I mean, but I guess I'm biased. I came into Miss SJM way later in the game, but I still really like this. I still really appreciate everything that Rhysand does for the genre in general. But this is like the one that most people think of, okay? If you don't happen to know what ACOTAR is about by now, it's basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling. This girl accidentally shoots a wolf, finds out that it is a Fae prince, and ends up getting captured by the other brothers, and says that you have to be taken back to our kingdom because you broke this treaty, this long-standing treaty between us and the mortals, which she didn't know about, and then it's that journey, okay? Give it a whirl if you haven't and you're still interested at this point. And then my last recommendation for you is another Shadow Mommy moment, and that is Miss Scarlet Monroe from the Lady of Darkness series, okay? So she is a ruthless assassin and part of a special trio that have been trained since they were children to basically torture and take life, but her special ability is shadow wielding, okay? Now she is a badass, okay? She also is a little insufferable. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's a little insufferable in the sense that sometimes she makes decisions that you're like, why are you doing this, homegirl? But then that's also a little bit relatable. So sometimes you don't like books because the character is too relatable, right? However, yes, she kicks butt, takes names, wields those shadows like no other, and I very much appreciated this. So anyway, in this one, she's locked in a noble's household and she's trapped and forgotten until basically she's ready to marry who she's predestined to marry, and she doesn't want that life for herself. But then she's presented with a job that if she completes the assignment, she will get revenge against the Fae Fire Prince who brutally killed her mother. Is she willing to sacrifice everything for that revenge? Yes. It was good. I think that the series gets better as it goes, so I would urge you that if you didn't love book 1 to keep going. There's a good Shadow Mommy for you in this one. And so that's all of the books that I have recommended to you. Let me know if you've read any of those, but then I'm going to talk really quick about 3 books that are on my radar that have Shadow Daddies in them that I absolutely need to get to soon. So this first one, I don't really know where I heard about it, but I got it on Pango, and that is The Ember King by Jamie Applegate Hunter, and it actually came with like fan art and also bookmarks, and it's a signed edition, so that's cool. But I don't know a lot about this. I just know it says, after the brutal murder of her twin sister Aurora, Rory, or Raven, spends years forging herself into a ruthless killer. She never gave up her search for the man who killed her sister, but when she's convicted of 13 murders and sentenced to 500 years in Vincula, the prison realm, she knows her sister's death will never be avenged. But then Caius is the Umbra King, the ruler of Vincula, and the king of the monsters, and after being locked in his own realm for a crime he didn't commit, his only focus has been revenge. But when she drops into his throne room, they begin a game of cat and mouse, and their hatred turns into something else. Ooh, this sounds really good. Like, I've never really heard of this, honestly, but I've heard that Caius is a Shadow Daddy. So we're going to try it. Then one that is very popular that I haven't gotten to yet is A Shadow in the Ember by JLA. This is the prequel series to From Blood and Ash, and I know that Daddy Nyktos in this is a tried and true Shadow Daddy. And I'm not going to say what this is about because, like I said, this is a prequel series, so it kind of like spoils stuff in From Blood and Ash because this comes like after, even though it is a prequel. But I've heard that he's just so fabulous, and I just need to know about this magical man. But I have a couple more books to get to before I can get to this bad boy. And then the last one, which I don't own, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm actually going to be reading it within the next week or so for a vlog, is Feathers So Vicious by Liv Zanders. And I don't know anything about this except for that it is Shadow Daddy Raven Shifter Boys, and that it is a Why Choose Dark Romantasy. I feel like I don't need to know more than that. That sounds very intriguing to me. I love Why Choose, and I love that it's not just dragon shifters, it's raven shifters, which is very unique, and I've heard that this is really good. I have a special edition set coming at some point soon, so I'm excited to add this to the potential Shadow Daddies loving list. And those are all of my Shadow Daddy Recs and my little mini Shadow Daddy TBR. If you got to the end of this, let's put a raven emoji for Feathers So Vicious and let me know, have you read any of these? Do you have any different Shadow Daddy books that you recommend? Please let me know in the comments down below. Let's give all the Shadow Daddies or Shadow Mommies some love. Maybe I'll do a special video just for Shadow Mommies. And the one thing that would be best for me in the comments actually is let me know if there are any specific tropes that you would like to see done sooner than later. I have plans for Fated Mates, Enemies to Lovers, Slow Burn, He Falls for her first. I have a one bed, one horse. I have different ideas, but let me know if there's any specifically that you would like to see, that you want more of, and I will put that further up the totem pole for you. And I also want to give a special thank you to my patrons who support me each and every day. I love you so very much. If you're ever interested in joining my Patreon, it is friends themed. We do extra sprints, we do exclusive videos, we do read-alongs. We have so much fun over there. So make sure to join with the information underneath this video. And with that, my friends, I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!